from the Technology Center on the campus of Herkimer College. This is HCTV News, a student-produced newscast covering Herkimer County and the community it serves.
Hello, I'm Miranda Laux, and welcome to HCTV News from Herkimer College. We're here every Thursday afternoon this semester at 4:30 with a live half-hour newscast produced by students enrolled in Communication Arts program here at Herkimer. Students also produce a 15-minute live newscast on Tuesdays starting at 1 p.m. Remington Arms Factory, one of the largest employers in the area, is currently in the process of filing for bankruptcy. Remington is one of the nation's oldest gun manufacturers in the United States. One of their factories, located here in Ilion, New York, is the largest employer in the area. However, according to USA Today, firearm sales for Remington have gone down over the past years due to public's perception that Washington does not have plans to impose new restrictions on gun ownership. While Remington outlays its restructuring plan, the creditors that are planning to seize control of the company are already hoping to make a quick sale of some or all of their company's assets, according to Bloomberg Limited, a company specializing in marketing and finances. However, it is unsure on how this restructuring could affect the local economy. Business owners in the surrounding area are sure to keep an eye out on the outcome of Remington's bankruptcy. A Herkimer man is facing charges after failing to report the death of his wife. According to Times-Telegram, Richard Howard, 58, of 526 West Lake Avenue was charged with a felony concealment of a human corpse after failing to report the death of his wife, Lorraine Howard, who was 53 at the time of her death. Police were called to Richard Howard's house after neighbors became concerned with the couple's welfare. When police arrived, they discovered the body of Lorraine Howard on the kitchen floor. Police say that the time of death is estimated between January 28th and February 21st. After discovering the body, police arrested Richard and sent him to Herkimer Village Court early Thursday morning, where he was arraigned and sent to the Herkimer County Jail in lieu of $15,000 cash bail or $30,000 bond. After more than 38 years, the Communication Art program here at Herkimer College is a little different this semester. Professor Kalman Sokoloff retired this past December after a storied career. The Herkimer County Community College Board of Trustees is now recognizing that feat by awarding the professor emeritus status. Sokoloff began his teaching career here at Herkimer College in 1979, working alongside the late Dave Champeau in the early years of the original RTV broadcasting program. Sokoloff was promoted to assistant professor in 1983, to associate professor in 1993, and to professor in 2003. In his 38 years, he has also worked for the college in shared governance issues through his work on several committees, including academic policies, cultural diversity, the strategic planning committee, and many more. According to Board of Trustees policies, emeritus status honors select retired faculty and staff who have demonstrated excellence and a commitment to making Herkimer College the exceptional institution it is today. Herkimer College has many opportunities for students to become involved here on the campus. One of these ways is to sign up for one of the many clubs offered here on campus. Last Thursday, the club fair was in full swing, showcasing the various clubs and organizations offered to students here at the college. At the fair, students had the chance to glance at some of the clubs they could join. Some of these clubs include Anime Club, the Black Latino Student Union, Outdoor Adventurer, and RTV, just to name a few. During the fair, the various clubs informed students who attended of some of the many activities they have planned for this year, such as trips, meetings, and other important dates. If you missed your last chance, you can still get involved by contacting the Center for Student Leadership and Involvement by visiting RMCC 220 or by calling 315-574-4032. There's more news straight ahead after this break during HCTV News. I'm Miranda Laux. Michaela Mayolo is up next after the break with your complete weather forecast. Stay with us.
Coming up next, the weather outlook for Herkimer and the surrounding areas here on HCTV News. Stay with us.
Make the right connections with your communication arts degree from Herkimer College. Interested in radio? Meant to DJ? Then Herkimer College's radio TV program is the program for you. Learn all about the radio industry, record your own show, or even produce a live one. The possibilities are endless. For more information about communication arts programs at Herkimer College, visit www.herkimer.edu.
No cell phone service, no television or internet connections, no electricity, and in some DEC Adirondack campgrounds, no roads either. Forked Lake is just one of the 52 campgrounds that you can explore in the Adirondack Mountains of New York State. This facility is a primitive camping experience. Each site is outfitted with just the basics. You've got to hike trails or paddle a canoe to get to each site, putting you right in the middle of the area's natural beauty. Too rustic for you? That's okay. The DEC offers a wide variety of experiences, including island camping, tent and trailer sites with electricity and running water, boat launch facilities, hiking trails, beaches, and more. And it's all just a click away. To find out more and to start planning for your next Adirondack adventure, log on to www.dec.ny.gov. You'll find all the information you need to start enjoying the great Adirondack outdoors in upstate New York.
Most party fouls are pretty dumb. But if you decide to drink and drive underage, you could lose your license and your freedom. Underage drinking and driving. The ultimate party foul.
Now, the weather outlook for Herkimer and the surrounding areas here on HCTV News.
Welcome back to HCTV News, live from Herkimer College. I'm Miranda Laux.
And I'm Michaela Maiolo for HCTV News Weather. So taking a look at our current radar, you can see that we're going to be getting a lot of snow, and we're supposed to be getting 8 to 12 inches. There's some cold fronts moving in and some stationary fronts here. The cold fronts are going to help push the snow towards where we are, and it's going to start getting really, really cold. So what we can expect for tonight is that the rain is going to be changing into snow. Tonight we're supposed to be getting around 3 to 5 inches and a low of 38. Tomorrow we're having a winter storm warning. We're supposed to get between 8 to 12 inches of snow and a high of 30 degrees. And Saturday there's going to be cloudy, possible flurries, a high of 34 and a low of 22. Sunday it's going to be cloudy, snow in the morning, a high of 33 and a low of 17 later that day. So taking a look at our extended outlook for the rest of the week, on Monday it's going to be partly cloudy, a high of 37 and a low of 19. Tuesday, a little less clouds, a little more sunshine, a high of 40 and a low of 27. And on Wednesday, there's going to be some flurries, a high of 38 and a low of 24.
Okay, thanks Michaela for that weather update. When we return, Thomas Haight is going to get you caught up on the latest regarding the Herkimer General sports teams. Stay with us.
Catch up with the Herkimer General sports teams. After the break, it's Sports Wrap here on HCTV 99 News.
Jump into the world of radio production and electronic media at Herkimer County Community College's 91.5 FM WVHC. When the semester kicks in, students take over the airwaves, turning their dreams and ideas into real live radio.
Topping Herkimer County Community College news today with graduation soon approaching.
Are you the next big voice? Find your home on the airwaves at Herkimer County Community College and WVHC. For more information, go to www.herkimer.edu.
Aphoresis, a Greek word meaning to take away. What if aphoresis meant you could have uninterrupted time to watch TV or your favorite movie while saving lives at the same time? The Red Cross uses aphoresis machines to save the lives of cancer patients. By separating your platelets, the Red Cross is able to get the blood to the people who need it. Contact your local Red Cross for more information. Make an appointment. Donate. Reschedule. Someone you love may just depend on it.
Hello, everyone. Tom Haight here, your sports guy with the red bow tie, bringing you this week's edition of Sports Wrap here on HCTV News. We keep you up to date on Herkimer General sports teams right here every week. Let's get you caught up. To men's basketball, the Generals lost on the road in their regular season finale, and they entered the Region 3 championship round with a record of 23-5. The Generals traveled to Saranac Lake February 24th to take on North Country, and Herkimer trailed by just 2 points at the half. North Country pulled ahead in the second, however, and the Generals fell to them for the second time this season. This all led up to the start of the Region 3 tournament, which got underway earlier this week. 8-seed Fulton Montgomery Community College pulled off an early shocker, beating the number 1 seeded Mohawk Valley Community College by a score of 90-87. Herkimer fared better in their first round, easily handling Corning on Tuesday with a 97-77 win. Derek Felder was busy as he led the Generals with 22 points. This all sets up a very busy weekend here on the Herkimer campus. The Generals face off against Onondaga Saturday at 2 o'clock. Fulton Montgomery looks to continue their upsetting ways against Cayuga at 4 o'clock. The Region 3 championship game tip-off is set for 2 o'clock on Sunday. All games are set to happen here at Herkimer. We'll have a full breakdown of the tournament next week. The Mohawk Valley Community College campus is still reeling from an announcement late last week when the college decided to voluntarily suspend the entire women's basketball season, forfeiting all games on the season. The decision came about after NJCAA rules were apparently violated. MV says that someone in the athletics department gave assistance beyond the acceptable limits of NJCAA rules and regulations. That employee is now on administrative leave while the college performs an internal investigation. Herkimer's latest Athletes of the Month recognition goes to women's swimming and diving athlete Amanda Meisha and men's basketball player Derek Felder. Meisha now holds 4 new school records in the 50-yard freestyle and the 100-yard freestyle. She also holds new records for the 100-yard individual medley and the 50-yard backstroke. In addition to his stellar play in the first round of Region 3 playoffs, Felder consistently leads his team in points per game and assists per game. You can see him in action, as we mentioned earlier, during this weekend's semifinal and championship games in the Region 3 tournament right here at Herkimer. Well, that's all there is for this week's edition of Sports Wrap. I'm Tom Haight, your sports guy in a red bow tie. Remember, you can always catch up with the very latest Herkimer General sports action at herkimergenerals.com. Stay tuned. You're watching HCTV News. We'll be back with more news after these messages.
Hi. Are you feeling tired, irritable, stressed out? Well, you might consider nature.
From the people that brought you Getting Outside comes prescription strength Nature, a non-harmful medication shown to relieve the crippling symptoms of modern life.
Nature's recommended for humans of all ages, and it's great for pets too.
Nature can reduce cynicism, meaninglessness, anal retentiveness, and murderous rage. In clinical studies, Nature is proven to decrease work-induced catatonia.
Caution, nature may cause you to slow down, quit your job.
If you are overly cynical, jaded, or emotionally numb, you may need to increase your dose of Nature. Do you have trouble being even mildly uncomfortable? Nature may not be right for you. Side effects may include spontaneous euphoria, taking yourself less seriously, and being in a good mood for no apparent reason.
So ask your doctor if nature is right for you.
Time now for the HCTV News Question of the Week. It's your turn to express your thoughts on campus-wide issues.
Welcome back to HCTV News. Here on HCTV, I'm Miranda Laux. Thanks for joining us. It's time now for our Question of the Week, where we comb the campus looking for your on-camera input. This week, we hand it over to HCTV News reporter William Blunt. William?
This is William Blunt from HCTV News with this week's Question of the Week. What are your thoughts on gun legislation considering the recent events?
I think there should be metal detectors in schools, and I think they should have more security also in the school to protect the students and teachers.
I believe in mental health checks for guns, but I don't really believe in restraining or restricting gun ownership to just police forces or anything like that. I still believe all Americans should be able to have guns. That's your Second Amendment.
My thoughts on gun control is that it should be more difficult to obtain a gun normally, especially an AR-15, even though they're illegal here in New York. But mainly what they should do is that they should try and raise the gun age to like 21 soon enough, and then eventually, make it more difficult to obtain any sort of gun.
What are your thoughts on gun legislation considering the recent events?
My thoughts are that the government should step up and step into getting involved with the purchasing of firearms, such as like automatics, because in some locations across the country, automatics are legal with tax stamps and certain other licenses needed. But I think that fully automatic weapons, we don't need those.
That's all for this week's Question of the Week. Back to you in the studios, Miranda.
Thanks, William. Be sure to tune in next week for another edition of HCTV News Question of the Week. And don't be shy if you see our crew around campus Thursday afternoons looking for your opinion. Stay with us. Coming up after the break, we're talking with the Herkimer College Director of Public Safety, Timothy Rogers, about what procedures are in place in the event of an emergency here at the college. That's straight ahead in our Newsmaker segment right here on HCTV. Stay with us.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. Find fun activities to do, like boating and biking, or camping and hiking, plus much more. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Hello and welcome back to HCTV News. I'm Miranda Laux. Thanks for joining us. We're here each week at this time with a 30-minute newscast produced by Herkimer College Communication Arts students. Joining us now for our Newsmaker segment is Timothy Rogers. How are you doing today?
Very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How long have you worked for the college?
I've actually been at Herkimer for 10 years now this month.
This one, what circumstances have occurred to send out a code blue or a code red at the college?
Well, in most recent years, we actually had a tragic shooting here in the area in 2013 that took many lives, and then in 2017, last year, we had a code blue situation that we used.
Okay, and what is the difference between a code red and a code blue?
The code red and code blue actually came out of the 2013 incident that was not on campus but nearby. That was a change in our crisis plan, and we decided to add the code blue at the time. So the code red is basically a shelter in place where we want you shelter yourselves inside an area to protect yourself, lock yourself in, similar to what we call a lockdown as well. The code blue is where we allow students to move around about in the buildings, but they would have to refer to their New York Alert text messages and emails that they would get to further be advised of where we want them, where we don't want them to be.
Okay, so if you move within the building, you can go through the tunnels here at the campus and stay that way?
Correct. You can access any of our buildings inside and stay inside. The tunnels are glass, of course, but we can keep you indoors.
Okay. What do we do if something were to happen inside the building?
Inside the building, we would definitely be using our shelter in place. We also, and I don't know if you're aware of this, we also have a siren on campus. So we may use our siren at time, and our siren, if that ever activates on campus, is always shelter in place. But I also preach run, hide, fight. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I've heard of that as well. So if you are sheltered in place and something happens in the area you are, you have to make a mental decision on what you're going to do at that time. Are you going to run away from that area? Are you going to shelter in that place? Are you going to hide? Or are you going to fight and get out of that situation? So you have to make that determination and be prepared to do that.
Okay, how has the policies changed in the last 10 years? Because you said you've been here for 10 years.
Correct.
So how have they changed?
Our crisis plan has changed quite a bit in the last 10 years since I've been here. We've updated it. That's kind of a living document, so we can change it at any time as we see fit. Like I said before, after the 2013-ish incident in our area, we did change it and made some changes to that based on what we learned from previous incidents. So we're always open to changes. We've added, since I've been here, we've added cameras to this campus. We have 165 cameras on our campus. We have body cameras on our officers. We have cameras in our police vehicles. The officers became armed in 2009. They were not armed. They're fully trained. They go to Homeland Security. They get their training here in Oriskany to learn how to engage active shooters and take care of that situation.
Okay, and if a student sees something in the classroom, how should they go about telling somebody without causing a scene?
Right. So there's many different ways they can do that. They may be able to send an email to somebody. They may be able to get themselves out of the classroom, go to a different office, excuse themselves, call 911, those kind of things. You know, if they don't want to cause a disruption, if they're able to get themselves out of that classroom carefully, like they're going to go to the bathroom or something, and go to a different office and report it or call 911, that may work for them. It all depends on the situation they're in at the time. We have a tips line, and a silent witness line, so they can remain anonymous if they want to give us information. But again, those two options are not really emergency situations. That's something we will react to. But in emergency, 911 is always the best if they can do that or report it to an office nearby.
Okay. Thank you for joining us and giving us all this information.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more news and a final check of our weather right after this break. Stay with us. I'm Miranda Laux.
And I'm Michaela Maiolo.
We'll take one last look at the weather in just a minute, but first, the music industry program here at Herkimer College is in the works of hosting another Open Mic Night. Open Mic Night is an event offered to students that give them a chance to express themselves in front of a group of their peers.
Some of the ways that students have done this in the past is in the form of musical talent, poetry, short stories, slam poetry, and many others. This month's Open Mic Night is scheduled for Thursday, March 22nd, 2 weeks from today.
So, Michaela, a final look at the weather. How's the snow coming?
Well, we are expecting to get between 8 and 12 inches tonight. And for tomorrow, there's a winter storm warning. We're going to get a lot of snow, and there's a high of 30 degrees.
Okay, thanks, Michaela, and thank you for joining us. That's it for HCTV News tonight. Just a reminder, HCTV News is here every Tuesday afternoon at 1 o'clock and every Thursday at 4:30 throughout this semester. We're live on HCTV on Spectrum Cable in Herkimer, Mohawk, Ilion, and Little Falls. We're also streaming live on YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook and on Instagram. Just search Herkimer College Communication Arts. For all of us here at HCTV News, I'm Miranda Laux.
And I'm Michaela Maiolo. Tune in again next Tuesday at 1 o'clock and Thursday at 4:30 for more HCTV News.